All right, shalom, shalom. This is Hawud. I'm gonna do a video. I'm getting stuff together I was getting it together tonight, but I don't think it's enough. It's about Lucifer, because I don't know why people think that Satan and Lucifer is the same being, and that somebody fell from heaven and all this unnecessary Christian church stuff that a lot of our people are following. But since I can't do that yet and I don't have all the information I need, what I want, the Most High put this on my spirit to read to y'all, because I think this is important. I think this is something that we should want to do, and we should be doing actually now. All right, so this is Book of Psalms, Psalms 105. All right. Give thanks to the Lord, invoke his name, make known among the nations his deeds. Sing to him, sing his praise, proclaim all his wondrous deeds. Glory in his name, glory in his holy name, Rejoice, O hearts that seek the Lord. Look to the Lord in his strength. Seek to serve him constantly. Recall the wondrous deeds that he has wrought, his portents, and the judgments he has uttered. You descendants of Abraham, his servants, sons of Jacob, his chosen ones. He, the Lord, is our God. Throughout the earth his judgments prevail. He remembers forever his covenant, which he made binding for 1,000 generations, which he entered into with Abraham, and by his oath to Isaac, which he established for Jacob by statute, for Israel as an everlasting covenant, saying to you, will you give the land of Canaan to your allotted inheritance? When they were few in number, a handful, and strangers there wandered from nation to nation, and from one kingdom to another people, he let no man oppress them, and for their sake he rebuked kings. Touch not my anointed, and to my prophets do no harm. When he called down a famine on the land and ruined the crop that sustained them, he sent a man before them, Joseph, sold as a slave. Try to get a little close to y'all so I can hear it. They had weighed him down with feathers, and he was bound with chains, till his prediction came to pass, and the word of the Lord proved him true. The king sent and released him. The ruler of the peoples set him free. He made him lord of his house and ruler of all his possessions, that he might train his princes to be like him, and teach his elders wisdom. Then Israel came to Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. He greatly increased his people, and made them stronger than their foes, whose heart he changed so that they hated his people. He dealt deceitfully with his servants. He sent Moses his servant, Aaron, whom he had chosen. They wrought his signs among them, and wonders in the land of Ham. He sent the darkness, it grew dark, but they rebelled against his words. He turned their waters into blood, and killed their fishes. Their land swarmed with frogs, even in the chambers of their kings. He spoke, and there came swarms of flies, gnats, through all the borders. For rain he gave them hail, with flashing fires throughout the land. He struck down their vines and their fig trees, and shattered the trees throughout their borders. He spoke, and there came locusts and grasshoppers without number, and they devoured every plant throughout the land. They, they devoured the fruit of the soil. Then he struck every firstborn throughout their land, the first fruits of all their manhood. And he led them forth laden with silver and gold, with not a weakling among them, a weakling among their tribes. Egypt rejoiced at their going, for the dread of them had fallen upon it. He spread a cloud to cover them, and fire to give them light by night. They asked, and he brought them quail, and with bread from heaven he satisfied them. He cleft the rock, and the water gushed forth. It flowed through the dry lands like a stream. For he remembered his holy word to his servant Abraham, and he led forth his people with joy and shouts of joy, his chosen ones. And he gave them the lands of the nations, and they took what the peoples had toiled for. They that might keep his statutes and observe his laws. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's what it says. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Shalom.